Alright guys, welcome back into another PGA DFS video. This week we've got the Charles Schwab challenge, and I might mess that up because Charles Shaw is a wine that I like to do. A little bit of a wine challenge actually for you. If you've ever been to, what is the store? Trader Joe's. They have Charles Shaw for really cheap. Charles Shaw challenge is whoever can finish a bottle of Charles Shaw the fastest. So if I mess that up, that's why, because that's a little fun drinking game you can do. Anyways, let's get into it. This week we got a pretty good week. I will be going over last week's recap first. Then I'll be giving you guys the player pool breakdown. Then I'll be giving you guys the core four. So stay tuned for that. Let's kick it off with last week's recap. All right, so last week's recap. Let's just start off here. So if you guys watched the first core plays video and didn't watch the second one, I apologize. I kind of got off of John Rahm. He started off as like core play for me, and then with the cash builds, I'm like, I couldn't do it because I need that course history. And as you guys can see here on the left, let's get it right. On the left-hand side here, that is actually the lineup that we built out with the Patreon subscribers. I'll describe that in a second. On the other lineup here, that is my cash build that I submitted to the Patrons. They got that build. It was an easy build. And as you guys can see, they're really solid. Ian Poulter let us down a little bit, but, you know, like I said, that is going to happen occasionally when you get a guy that's just that statistically good at a course. Eventually that's going to happen, and that kind of happened at this major, so that's okay. Didn't hurt us at all. But that other one that I'm talking about, this DJ one, so what we did last week, it was kind of interesting, kind of a fun thing. I think I might keep doing this for majors. So I showed them the lineup, the cash lineup that I built out there. So, and then I kind of gave them four options of like where we could go with the cash build if we wanted to improve it. And with that, this one wasn't one of the options that I gave them. But with the information the 9-to-5 Nation gave back, we were able to build a really solid cash lineup there. And I really liked that one. So that's kind of what we ended up with. And actually, this was my best cash week so far this year. Kind of want to explain out to you guys. So each week is kind of different. You kind of get a feeling of how many cash lineups you should submit. This major actually had a ton of cash contests available. Single entry double ups, 50-50 double ups. It was great. So it was one of the most contest heavy cash lineup weeks that I've had in a while. It was a really good week, so I hope you guys had a good week as well. Let's get into this week and let's keep cashing. All right, so for this course, it's played at Colonial Country Club. Last year the tournament was called the Fort Worth Invitational. Before that, it was the Dean and DeLuca Invitational. So the course history is going to be the same. They've played at this course for multiple years. Some of the key stats that we're going to be looking at is actually going to be driving accuracy, because typically this course ranks as a top 15 with top 15 hardest fairways to hit. The last 10 out of the 11 last year's, it's been one of the hardest courses to hit the fairway on. So we are going to be looking at driving accuracy. And kind of the typical player that does well is kind of those smart players that think about each shot, and they're kind of methodical with their way that they approach the game. So we're going to be looking at ball striking, proximity, and total driving as well. Some of the people that have good course history is going to be John Rahm, Jordan Spieth, Tony Finau, Kevin Kisner, Emiliano Grillo, Brent Snedeker, Danny Lee, and actually Zach Johnson has some really good course history as well. All right, let's get into the player pool. All right, so the player pool this week, honestly, it's really top heavy. Kind of like last week where if you went top heavy, there's a bunch of good options here. Justin Rose won it last year. Obviously, he's a world-class player, best golfer per se in this player pool, so I don't mind him. John Rahm had a T5 finish here last year and a T2 finish here in 2017. As we know, John Rahm is a great ball striker and total driver. I wouldn't be fine with using him. Jordan Spieth has great course history, T32, T2, first, T2. So obviously he's a course horse. You could play him if you want to. Ricky Fowler's probably going to be the guy I end up on the most. T14 here in 2018. And you think about a smart player, you think Ricky Fowler. He's made 21 straight cuts. He seems like a safe and easy option to make the cut. I really like Ricky as an option. Now probably my favorite current golfer on the tour, Xander Schauffele. He should be a good option this week. He did miss a cut here in 2018, but he finished T48 here in 2017. You look at Xander, he is top 25 in greens and regulation. Bogey avoidance is something I'm kind of looking at again this week. Strokes gained total, tee to green. Ball striking, total driving. So obviously I do like him. He does kind of lack in that fairways hit. Now, Paul Casey, I think we can finally play him again. So let's look at his course history. T10 in 2017, miscut in 2016. That's okay. we can deal with that. And he also had a T43 here in 2015. He's good off the tee, and he's good around the green as well. Obviously, he's a great ball striker and total driver. Kevin Kisner, he was really bad last week. That was unfortunate, but I do think we can go back to the well with him. In 4 starts here, he's made 4 straight cuts, so I do like that. He is one of the better stat fits in the field, top 15 stat fit. Ian Poulter's another guy that I think we can go back to the well with. The thing I like about him is he kind of just struggled a little bit. As you can see, he didn't have any double bogeys at all, so I do like that. His course history is a miscut in 2016 and a T5 in 2005, but you look at the stats, he is 75th in proximity, 15th in greens of regulation, top 25 in total driving, ball striking, and also fairways hit, so we do like that. Jason Kokrak is a guy I'll touch on a little bit later on in the core 4 section, but he has decent course history, not the best. He's made 2 cuts and missed 2 cuts here in the last 4 years. The key thing with him is his total driving, 13th in net, 14th in ball striking, and overall he's just a really good stat fit. Emiliano Grillo is going to be a good option as well. He has good course history, finishing 3rd, 24th, and T55 here in the last 3 years, so it's progressively gotten better. We know with Grillo, he is a great ball striker and total driver, top 10 in both of those. He's 43rd in proximity. He's also 39th in that fairways hit percentage, so we do like that. Actually, it's a driving accuracy percentage. Fairways hit was the stat we used last week. So Scott Piercy, I think, as you guys know, I like to just kind of play the same guys until they fail me, especially when they're a good stat fit. It's going to be more of the same for Scott Piercy this week. He is another top 15 stat fit this week, so I do like him. Matthew Fitzpatrick, he's finally getting some respect from DraftKings here. He's made 9 out of 10 cuts, and I do think he'll be able to make the cut here at this course as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a top 25, but he seems like more of a GPP option. So does Ches Reavie here. Ches Reavie is actually a really, really good stat fit, but he hasn't correlated to good course history. He's only made 1 out of his last 3 starts here, the cut here, in 1 of his last 3 starts, but he is 2nd in driving accuracy and 13th in proximity. Joel Dahman is a guy who's kind of just been rolling. He's made his 8 of his last. He's made 8 straight cuts, including making the cut last week. So that was a tough field. So I do like that. He did have a T20 here last year as well. Zach Johnson, a former winner at this course. Now, when you think about smart golfers, you kind of think about Zach Johnson. Yes, he has struggled recently, but I do think that he'll be able to put that behind him and kind of make the cut. He did miss the cut here last year as well, but before that, he had made 3 straight cuts. Graham McDowell, he's just been a solid option. Made 11 straight cuts so far, and at this price, I really don't mind it. T29 here in 2017 is his only course history. He's the best putter in the field. He is 50th in driving accuracy, and he is 33rd in bogey avoidance. So although he's not checking all the boxes stat-wise, I do think we can go back to the well with him. Now, Abraham Answer was a guy we liked last week as a GPP option just because he was checking all the boxes stat-wise. He is one of the best stat fits in the field. I think it's kind of giving me more of the same, 15% or so GPP-wise. And Jim Furyk is actually kind of checking all the boxes as well stat-wise, but I don't really love it as an option. He did finish T66 here last year. He is 4th in proximity, 1st in driving accuracy. He's good in greens and regulations as well, so I don't mind him as an option. Corey Connors. Now, we know Corey Connors can pop. He already has a tour victory on the year, and just like Abraham Answer, he's a great GPP option this week. He is a top 5 stat fit this week. Now, that might not correlate into him making the cut. That's not helping out his percentage to make the cut. Well, it does. But confidence-wise, I don't have that much confidence in Corey Connors to make the cut. But if he does, he's going to go off and he's going to have a good week. The next option is going to be Kevin Streelman. Kevin Streelman is kind of a sneakier option. Think about a guy who kind of just places the ball where he wants, plays the course smart. That's going to be Kevin Streelman for you. He is a decent stat fit, top 25 according to my model this week. But he has been struggling kind of this whole year. Only 10 out of 17 cuts made. Normally he's a little bit better than that, so that's kind of my only worry with him. The next option, Vaughn Taylor. He has made 3 straight cuts here, including 2 top 20 finishes. He is T11 in proximity, top 25 in driving accuracy. He doesn't make that many bogeys as well, so I think Vaughn Taylor kind of makes for an interesting value option. Vaughn Taylor, if you want to roll with him, you can. I do like this option a little bit lower. Andrew Landry is okay. There's a bunch of decent options down here like Nick Watney, Brandon Steele, Ben Crane. If those guys make the cut, I really won't be surprised. Our boy Adam Shank, I think we can go back to the well with him as a value option. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. He's a decent overall stat fit, especially this low. He does look like he's priced about $800 too low. if you want to roll with that, you can, but there is a better value option a little bit lower, and he just missed out on the core 4 plays. So Nate Lashley, he has made 8 out of 10 cuts this year, but it's his stats that we're looking at. T14 in proximity, 28th in driving accuracy. He's a decent putter, 42nd in that. He is 7th in bogey avoidance. He is 18th in greens and regulation. So at that price point, I really do like Nate Lashley as an option. I do think Ryan Armour's kind of cheap, a cheap option. He finished T14 here last year. He's one of those accurate kind of smart players that if you want to roll with him, I wouldn't blame you. Now just to finish out this GPP build here for you guys, I think we're going to have to roll with Poulter in this one. That's just kind of how it ends up. I really don't mind that. I do think he'll bounce back this week. Let's get into the core 4. All right, so as you guys know, I already mentioned Jason Kokrak is going to be one of those guys in the core 4. Now, he has just been a cut machine. He's high likelihood that he's going to make the cut, especially at a course that he's had success at before. T32 here last year. Now, yes, he does have mixed course history, but I don't mind him as an option. He's a good stat fit. Let's get into the stats a little bit more. T51st in proximity, top 30 in greens and regulation, top 30 in bogey avoidance, 16th in strokes gained tee to green, 13th in total driving, 14th in ball striking. Now he does struggle with the putter. That is a little bit of a worry. These are big greens, and he probably 3-putt a few times this week. He's not the best in his driving accuracy, only 91st in that. But like I said, 22 straight made cuts. One thing I'm going to try to give you guys as an option is kind of someone I would go with lower on in the pricing range, but for the core 4 this week, I don't see the point. If you want to pay up for Ian Poulter instead of Jason Kokrak, I wouldn't blame you. It's kind of the same thing, except for Kokrak has better current form per se because he hasn't missed a cut, although Poulter did last week. So the next one obviously is going to be our boy Scott Piercy. We just can't avoid him. 7 straight made cuts. We know Piercy's just been dominating this year. He has pretty good course history, yes. I wish he didn't. Ooh, my tee fell in my ear there. I wish that he didn't miss the cut here last year. Then I would have a lot more confidence in him to make the cut. But still, he's rolling, and we're going to continue to play him. He's not priced up enough. That's about right for his price point. But still, he's a top 10 stat fit this week. He should keep continuing to play well. The next option is actually going to be Emiliano Grillo. And after you get down from those world-class players of Justin Rose, Jon Rahm, Jordan Spieth, Ricky, Xander, Francesco, Tony Finau, Bryson, Paul Casey, after you get done with those guys, Emiliano Grillo is the best play. He's the only player that's checking all the boxes on the whole board. Stat fit-wise, course history-wise, current form. So that is one thing that I like about Emiliano Grillo the most now. Ian Poulter was the same way last week, but so was Matt Kuchar and Scott Piercy. So that's neither here nor there. But, Emiliano Grillo, he finished 3rd here last year, T24 here in 2017, and in 2016, T55. He's T43 in proximity, 19th in greens and regulation, 24th in strokes gained tee to green, 8th in total driving, 7th in ball striking, and 40th in that driving accuracy stat. So he is not going to be a horrible. He's probably my favorite value option at this price range. I do think I'm going to be building a lot of lineups from this 8K range. The last one. I forgot to update his price here on this one. I apologize for that. So Joel Dahman, he's 8.2K on DraftKings. So I apologize for that. But he's made 8 straight cuts in a row. He's a top 20 stat fit. And he did have a T20 finish here last year. He doesn't have the best safety out of all these plays here, but I just think he's going to be able to make the cut and be able to play well at this course. He is T48 in proximity, T80 or better in greens and regulation, bogey avoidance, strokes gained tee to green. He is T17 in total driving, T33 here in ball striking, and he's T20 in driving accuracy. And obviously, he's just been playing some good golf recently. All right, guys, that's all I have for you guys this week. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like and subscribe. I always appreciate it. And hey, I have started the fantasy football kind of breakdown videos of this upcoming season. If you want to, check them out. Got the receiver started. Going to be doing running backs sometime either this week or next week. So hope you guys will view that. If not, let's just keep cashing in PGA DFS. Thanks.